Hey everyone. So I'm taking a break from Philippians and I'm going to start today, January 8th, with my 1-year Bible, the New Living Translation. So I'm going to be reading all of the section in Genesis that's already planned out. There's Matthew in there. There's Psalm and Proverbs. So I'm going to go ahead and read the Genesis section and then just continue and tell you where I'm going to be reading from then. So this is Genesis 18:16 through 19:38. Then the men got up from their meal and looked out towards Sodom. As they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. "Should I hide my plan from Abraham?" the Lord asked. "For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Then I will do for Abraham what I have promised." So the Lord told Abraham, "I have heard a great outcry from Sodom and Gomorrah, because their sin is so flagrant. 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 I'm going down to see if their actions are so wicked as I have heard. If not, I want to know." The other men turned and headed toward Sodom, but the Lord remained with Abraham. Abraham approached him and said, "Will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living in the city. Will you still sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes? Surely you wouldn't do such a thing, destroying the righteous along with the wicked. Why would you be treating the righteous and the wicked exactly the same? Surely you wouldn't do that. Should not the judge of all the earth do what is right?" And the Lord replied, "If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the entire city for their sake." Then Abraham spoke again, "Since I have begun, let me speak further to my Lord, even though I am dust and ashes. Suppose there are 45 righteous people rather than 50. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And the Lord said, "I will not destroy there if there's 45 righteous people there." Then Abraham pressed to request further, "Suppose there are only 40. And the Lord replied, "I will not destroy it for the sake of 40. "Please don't be angry, my Lord," Abraham pleaded. "Let me speak. Suppose only 30 righteous people are found?" And the Lord replied, "I will not destroy if I find 30. Then Abraham said, "Since I have dared to speak to the Lord, let me continue. Suppose there are only 20? And the Lord replied, "Then I will not destroy it for the sake of 20. Finally, Abraham said, "Lord, please do not be angry with me if I speak one more time. Suppose only 10 are found there." And the Lord replied, "Then I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. When the Lord had finished his conversation with Abraham, he went on his way, and Abraham turned to his tent. That evening, the 2 angels came to the entrance of the city of Sodom. Lot was sitting there, and when he saw them, he stood up to meet them. Then he welcomed and bowed with his face to the ground. "My lords," he says, "come to my home to wash your feet and be my guests for the night. You may then get up early in the morning and be on your way again." "Oh no," they replied. "We'll just spend the night out here in the city square." But Lot insisted, so at last they went home with him. Lot prepared a feast for them, complete with fresh bread made without yeast, and they ate. But before they retired for the night, all the men in Sodom, young and old, came from all over the city and surrounded the house. They shouted to Lot, "Where are the men who came to spend the night with you? Come, bring them out so we can have sex with them." So Lot stepped outside to talk to them, shutting the door behind him. "Please, my brothers," he begged, "don't do such a wicked thing. Look, I have 2 virgin daughters. Let me bring them out to you, and and you can do with them as you wish. But please leave these men alone, for they are my guests and they're under my protection." "Stand back," they shouted. "This fellow came to town as an outsider, and now he's acting like our judge. We'll treat you far worse than those other men." And they lunged towards Lot to break down the door. But the two angels reached out, pulled Lot back into the house, and bolted the door. Then they blinded all the men, young and old, who were at the door of the house, so they gave up trying to get inside. Meanwhile, the angels questioned Lot. "Do you have any other relatives here in the city?" they asked. "Get them out of this place, your sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone else, for we are about to destroy the city completely. The outcry against the place is so great that it has reached the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it." So Lot rushed out to tell his daughter's fiancés, Quick, get out of the city. But the Lord is about to destroy it." But the young men thought he was only joking. At dawn the next morning, the angels became insistent. "Hurry," they said. "Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here. Get out right now, or you will be swept away into the destruction of the city." When Lot still hesitated, the angel seized his hand in the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and rushed them safely outside the city, for the Lord was merciful. When they were safely out of the city, one of the angels ordered, "Run for your lives and don't look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the mountains, and you will be swept away." "Oh no, my lord," Lot begged. "You have been so gracious to me and saved my life, and you have shown me such great kindness, but I cannot go to the mountains. Disaster would catch me there, and I would soon die. See, there's a small village nearby. Please let me go there instead. Don't you see how small it is? Then my life will be saved." "All right," the angel said. "I will grant your request. I will not destroy the little village. But hurry, escape for I can do nothing until you arrive there." This explains why the village was known as Zoar, which means little place. Lot reached the village just as the sun was rising over the horizon. Then the Lord rained down fire and burning sulfur from the sky on Sodom and Gomorrah. He utterly destroyed them, along with the other cities and villages of the plain, wiping out all the people and every bit of vegetation. But Lot's wife looked back, and she was following behind him, and she turned into a pillar of salt. Abraham got up early that morning and hurried to the place where he had stood in the Lord's presence. He looked out at the plain toward Sodom and Gomorrah and watched as the columns of smoke rose from the cities like smoke from a furnace. But God had listened to Abraham's request and kept Lot safe, removing him from the disaster that engulfed the cities on the plain. Afterward, Lot left Zoar because he was afraid of the people there, and he went to live in a cave in the mountains with his 2 daughters. One day the older daughter said to her sister, "There are no men left anywhere in this entire area, and we can't get married like everyone else, and our father will soon be too old to have children. Come, let's get him drunk with wine, and we will have sex with him. That way we will preserve a family line through our father." So that night they got him drunk with wine, and the older daughter went in and had intercourse with her father. He was unaware of her lying down or getting up. The next morning the older daughter said to the younger daughter, "I had sex with our father last night. Let's get him drunk with wine again tonight, and you will go in and have sex with him. That way we will preserve our family line through our father." So that night they got him drunk with wine again. The younger daughter went and had intercourse with him. As before, he was unaware of her lying down and getting up again. As a result, both of Lot's daughters became pregnant with their own father. When the older daughter gave birth to a son, he named him Moab. He became the ancestor of the nation now known as the Moabites. When the younger daughter gave birth to a son, he named him Ben-Ami. He became the ancestor of the nation known as the Ammonites. So that's the Genesis part. This is the Matthew part. Matthew 6:25 through 7:14. That is why I tell you not to worry about everyday life, whether you have enough food and drink or enough clothes to wear. Isn't life more than food and body more than clothing? Look at the birds. They don't plant or harvest or store foods in barns, for your heavenly Father feeds them. And aren't you far more valuable than they are? Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? And why worry about your clothing? Look at the lilies of the field and how they grow. They don't work or make their clothing. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not dressed as beautifully as they are. And if God cares so wonderfully for wildflowers that are here today and thrown against the fire tomorrow, he will certainly care for you. Why do you have so little faith? So don't worry about these things, what we will eat, what will we drink, or what will we wear. These things dominate the thoughts of unbelievers, but the Heavenly Father already knows what you need. Seek the kingdom above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. Do not judge others, and you will not be judged. For you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. And why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying to your friend, "Let me help you get that speck in your eye," when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite, first get rid of the log in your own eye, then you will see enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. Don't waste what is holy on people who are unholy. Don't throw your pearls to pigs. They will trample the pearls, then turn and attack you. Keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Your parents, if your children ask for a loaf of bread, do you give them a stone instead? Or if they ask for a fish, do you give them a snake? Of course not. If you sinful people know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give good gifts to those who ask? Do to others whatever you would like them do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. That's the Matthew. Now this is Psalms 8, 1-9. O Lord our God, your majestic name fills the earth. Your glory is higher than the heavens. You have taught children and infants to tell your strength, silencing your enemies and all who oppose you. When I look to the night sky and see the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars you set in place, what are mere mortals that you should think about them, human beings that you should care for them? Yet you made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You gave them charge of everything you made, putting all things under their authority, the flocks and the herds and the wild animals and the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea and everything that swims in the ocean currents. O Lord our God, your majestic name fills the earth. And this is the Proverbs. Proverbs 2, 6-15. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the path of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right, just, and fair, and you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked, and their ways are wrong. And that is January 8th of the 1 Year Bible.